Nutrition guidelines are available for all ages, from newborn infants through the oldest senior citizen, and obviously what you eat as a kid and what you eat when you're 30 and robust and running around, and what you eat when you're 70 changes. So you can find all those guidelines very easily on the web. Thank you, Google. For pregnant women, I mean, we see it in Africa, right? The kids starve to death. Well, at some level in the U.S. too, or anywhere, if you don't follow good nutritional habits, that's going to affect your child. Not as much as Africa, but it's going to affect your child somewhat. So the food a woman eats when they're pregnant can affect the unborn child's growth and development. Important to choose food carefully. For somebody who's eating for two, make sure you are getting enough nutrition for yourself as well as for your kid. Not all the information that we're covering is practical in a sense, but most of it is, or it builds towards practical use. What I'm trying to do is teach you things that you can actually use in your work life. So maybe you're working in a nursing home. It'd be very important for you to know about the nutrition of elderly people. There hadn't been a lot of research to date on the exact nutritional requirements of elderly people, but it's especially important to get adequate amounts of certain nutrients in your old age, including water, calcium, fiber, iron, protein, vitamins A and C. So if you're working in a environment that had a lot of older people, either because that happens to be who lives in the area of your restaurant, or who likes the kind of food that you serve at your restaurant, or you're in a nursing home, then you need to know this, and you can factor that into the products that you serve them. MyPlate, or the USDA, suggests that you consume smaller portions. I mentioned the Japanese program. I think it's had some funny name to it, but they suggest 80% of what you would put on your plate normally, put that on your plate and you'll lose weight. At least half of the grains we eat should be whole grains. Fruits and vegetables should be varied. Don't eat the same thing all the time. You always have, oh, all I ever eat is green beans. Well, try a variety of things. There's a lot of new vegetables out there. Eat them. Your protein should be lean protein. Milk should be 1% or fat-free. Compare the sodium content in prepared foods to your home prepared foods. Look at when you see those packages, look at how much sodium is in there. And drink a lot of water, not sugary drinks. All foods made from meat, poultry, seafood, beans, peas, eggs, processed soy products, nuts, and seeds are considered part of the protein foods, as are beans and peas. So this is your 4 sections of the plate, and into the protein category: meat, poultry, seafood, beans, peas, eggs, soy products, nuts, seeds, all part of the protein group. Suggest a variety of protein foods to improve nutrient intake and health benefits, including at least 8 ounces of cooked seafood per week. Vegetarian options would include beans and peas, processed soy products, nuts and seeds, and meat and poultry should be lean or low fat. So vegetarians need to be expert. If you want to do it properly and still get good nutrition, you need to be expert on the beans and the peas and soy products, nuts and seeds, and things that replace the meat and poultry that they don't eat. I don't expect you to memorize all of this stuff, but at least you know it exists. You get a sense of it. You got the book. The book I chose for this is actually a high school level nutrition course, and I thought it was great stuff, and at a level that was would be comfortable for my students. So, what foods are in the vegetable group? Any vegetable or 100% vegetable juice counts as a member of the vegetable group. Vegetables may be raw or cooked, fresh, frozen, canned, or dehydrated. Vegetables are organized into 5 subgroups based on their nutrient content. Some commonly eaten vegetables are, in subgroup 1, is the dark green veggies, bok choy, broccoli, collard greens, and the rest. Then we have the red and orange vegetable group: acorn squash, butternut squash, carrots, Hubbard squash, pumpkin, etc., including tomato juice. Others you don't have to eat the tomato. Tomato juice counts the same. Then the bean and pea group of vegetables: black beans, black-eyed peas, garbanzos, etc. I don't want to bore you by reading them all. You can read. And the starchy vegetables: cassava, corn, fresh cowpeas, green bananas, taters. And finally, the fifth category is other: artichokes, avocado, green peppers, okra, turnips. Now you might be saying at this point, holy cow, which of this stuff is going to be on the exams? Well, when GFI put the exams together, they tried to test things that you would actually need to know, practical things you would need to know. So you don't need to have all this stuff memorized. You just have to have a decent sense of, the various food groups. So you don't, we try not to trick you with the test questions and make it stuff you actually need to know. So what's in the grains group? Any food made from wheat, rice, oats, cornmeal, barley, or other cereal grain is a grain product. Bread, pasta, oatmeal, breakfast cereals, tortillas, grits are example of grain products. They're wanting you to eat more whole grains, so that means that it contains the entire grain kernel. The bran, germ, endosperm examples would include whole wheat flour, cracked wheat, oatmeal, whole cornmeal, brown rice. Those would be whole grains. And then you have refined grains, which have been milled, process that removes the bran and the germ. It's done to give the grains a finer texture, improve their shelf life, but it also removes dietary fiber, iron, and many B vitamins. So they're not liking these as much as your whole grains. Some examples of the refined grain products are white flour, degermed cornmeal, white bread, and white rice. What foods are in the fruit group? Any fruit or 100% fruit juice counts as part of the fruit group. They might be fresh, canned, frozen, dried, whole, cut up, pureed. They all count as the food group. Fruit group. What foods are included in the dairy group? All fluid milk products and many foods made from milk are considered part of the dairy group. Most dairy group choices should be fat-free or low-fat. Foods made from milk that retain their calcium content are part of the dairy group. Calcium fortified soy milk, soy beverage is also part of the dairy group. But foods made from milk that have little or no calcium, such as cream cheese, cream, and butter, are not. So they need to have the calcium in there to be considered part of the dairy group. The milk group would include all fluid milk, whether it's fat-free, low-fat, reduced fat, whole milk, flavored milks, ice milk, yogurt, ice cream. All of those would be in the milk category. And these cheeses would be included in the dairy group. Hard natural cheeses like cheddar, mozzarella, Swiss Parmesan, soft cheeses like ricotta, cottage cheese, processed cheeses like American. And then yogurt would include all yogurts: fat-free, low-fat, reduced fat, or whole milk yogurt. Under dairy, they'd like you to choose fat-free or low-fat milk, yogurt, and cheese. If you choose milk or yogurt that's not fat-free or cheese that's not low-fat, the fat in the product counts against your maximum limit for empty calories, which are calories from solid fats and added sugars. Now, where's all this stuff come from again? Used to be called My Pyramid. Now, what's it called? It's My Plate. So if you want to look up more information, just Google My Plate. However, I have to warn you that as of the time I'm typing this, they announced all of this and released it, but they didn't update all of their websites, so you're going to still find tons of My Pyramid. But the new deal is My Plate, and that's where all this stuff comes from. Watch what you eat. If you want to eat 3 ounces of food, but you have nothing to measure it with, the size will approximate the palm of your hand or 1 deck of cards. That's what I'm talking about. Make it simple. So if you're not into calorie counting or doing a whole lot of work and you just want to breeze through life, you can breeze through life by saying, that looks about the size of the palm of my hand, or that looks about the size of a deck of cards, and that would be 3 ounces of food. So yeah, that will help you.